Hi folks, Michael Robinson here with MichaelRobinsonArt.com, and welcome to another installment of a story behind a painting. Super excited to be talking to you this week about my newest image, the one I just posted on Instagram. It will soon be on Facebook as well. It's from my Spirits of Babylon series, inspired by our world, the COVID world that we're living in right now. This one is called 19th Nervous Breakdown. That's a reference to a well-known, I'm a boomer, back in the 60s, the Stones were huge. They just ruled the charts, and one of their songs was 19 Nervous Breakdown, 19th Nervous Breakdown. So it was perfect for us to use that, for me as an artist, to use my look at how life has changed under COVID with that title, 19th Nervous Breakdown. In a moment, I'll tell you about a reference to a Billy Idol / Tommy James and the Shondells. So let's just start off with, we have these clouds up here, right? These, to me, they signify, let me get a little closer for you so you can see this. These are all rounded clouds. I tend to do clouds that are much more amorphous, but I want them to be round and pattern-like, because to me, the clouds represent, to some extent, they're symbolic of a storm, of maybe a summer storm, but also you'll notice by being rounded in this way, to me, they could be interpreted as being the molecules, the COVID that is enveloping the city of New York, right? Considered sort of the crown achievement of American civilization. And in fact, the art world is all based out of, you can say it's from Los Angeles, but really we know still to this day the New York art world rules because it's considered a height of civilization. It's where big media is, right? Also, big media these days, they're just a lot of propagandist people. Did I say that? Yes, I did. So let's talk about how we reinforce the idea of 19th Nervous Breakdown. We do it here with this address. You can see that the address here says 19. I reinforce that here by saying the next address, every other one, 1919, right? I didn't want it to be too symmetrical, so we skipped 2 buildings here. I'm all the way over here, and the address becomes 911, because obviously we're in an emergency. Here's a nice piece of eye candy here, XIX, as in the Roman numerals for 19. But I'm also saying maybe the creative energy and the status that New York has is sort of the crowning achievement of civilization. It's kind of dying. It's a dead town during COVID-19. Symbolic of, I think, a transformation that we're seeing play out in front of us right now. Like, what's going to be the next leader civilization-wise in post-COVID? This right here, MONY, it was just really joyful for me to put that on here. Let me put it a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about. MONY, the song Mony Mony that Tommy James and the Shondells released in 1968. This is really a cool story. They were stuck, they didn't have a title, and they were at Tommy James's apartment in New York, and he happened to turn to the left, and he saw the Mony Building, Mutual of New York. So he came up with Mony Mony. So I thought that was really great because New York at one point, it was the financial center of the universe. Right here we have the 6 and the 6 separated by similar distance. Let me just show you a little close-up of that. Obviously, everybody was supposed to be staying 6 feet apart from each other, unless of course you were at a big protest. And then, so down here at the bottom we have the road, right? And it just kind of disappears. So we're sort of on this road, and it separates our central figures here from the civilization that's in the background. I kind of like this little eye candy here, this eye, the sync, because there were people keeping an eye on us all during COVID, right? Making sure we had on our masks, and then we were quarantined and stuff like that. And raises questions of individual liberty. We're seeing that now with the drive to try to get us to have vaccination passports, as it were. Is that even legal? Down here are central figures. They're a little harder to see. Let me try. Yeah, I'm just trying to angle it. You can see how they're wearing. I didn't want the masks to be obvious because I've done in other paintings where the face is obscured. So here we have this. And then we have these hands here. They're trying to make a connection because inside of all of us is the desire to understand each other and to communicate. And I'm trying to say here that we're trying to bridge some kind of a divide, right? Masked, non-masked, red, blue, Democrat, Republican, whatever. We're trying to communicate, and yet we have this separation between us here. Again, I'm reinforcing a sense of mask without it being too literal. my sense is that when you're very, very literal, when you're in the middle of something like COVID or any kind of thing like that, and if you're really literal, it's not going to stand the test of time. I mean, as I said, I'm a boomer, and my brother and I used to do art posters when we were kids, and there was all these rock and roll stuff, and you will see some of them still out there, but those things that really were hard hitting and immediate, today they just look very, very dated, and I was wanting to do something that's a lot higher art. Now, as I said, as part of the series Spirits of Babylon, the name Babylon also reinforces the sense of a declining empire that's actually divided. And we have that so much going on right now. There's so many divisions. You're seeing with this vaccination, anti-vaccine. You're seeing with masks, anti-masks. So it goes on and on and on. But what I really wanted to do was get something timeless and colorful. There's one last thing I want to say. Yes, it does have the Michael Robinson color scheme. One last thing I wanted to say. Remember, it's called the Spirits of Babylon series. And so here we have these are symbolic to me of a spirit world looking down, keeping an eye on us, but they're also like totems from an ancient civilization. Because, someday the United States and New York will be in decline. Nothing lasts forever. But I wanted to have this timeless sense, like Easter Island figures or something like that, that stand the test of time, a testament to the United States, but also to the human spirit. And that's what this is all about. My art is so much about the human spirit. I like to be bold and provocative. That's the whole point of it. Edgy, right? We're not doing stuff that's going to have little swirls over your sofa or something like that. We want to make art that has a statement, but also has a timeless feel. So, anyway, I'm Michael Robinson with michaelrobinsonart.com, and thank you for joining me for the story behind 19th Nervous Breakdown. I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation, and please stop by and show us some love on Instagram. It's Michael Robinson _art. Love to hear from you guys. We're getting a lot of engagement on this piece right now, so thank you so much for all the love. Take care. Bye-bye.